Hello everyone, my name is Nick Infernus and welcome back to another video. So, San Diego Comic-Con happened yesterday, and it's still happening, it's going to be happening until Sunday, but yesterday was the Transformers Legacy panel. And there was some really interesting stuff that they showed off during that panel, and some stuff that I couldn't really care less about. So let's talk about it. Why not? Alright, so these are the San Diego Comic-Con 721 Transformers figure reveals. Starting with the convention exclusive, last year was the Covert Agent Ravage pack that had the heavy remold of Cheetor as, Predacon Ravage, and then the repack of the G1 Ravage cassette. This year's 2-pack is called A Hero Is Born, and yeah, that sucks. I mean, I'm glad that we're getting updates on both Orion Pax and Alpha Trion, but did they have to reuse the crappy Cup mold from 86? I mean, I like 86 for the most part, but Cup is easily the worst figure from that line. At least on my copy, the QC was terrible. The limbs, especially the hips, were very floppy, and the limbs came off way too easily, but tolerances are not saving that transformation. That transformation is hell. As for Alpha Trion, he's probably the reason why I would even get this set, because I actually do really like that Scourge mold. And this does look a lot like Alpha Trion, and it does look good. So, and the packs does look good too, I just really don't like the mold. So if this ever goes on Hasbro Pulse, then, I might pick it up, but I'm not going to be touching the packs that much. Right. Now, as for Generation Selects, we got DK3 Breaker. I don't really care about this thing. I mean, it looks cool. It's of course, this is a repaint of the Trailbreaker mold from Earthrise, and the colors do agree with this, but at the same time, I'm not really a huge fan of the Earthrise hoist mold. The transformation is pretty clashy, and I don't like the fact that the arm kibble comes along for the ride when you're just trying to move the arm. But for those who are happy about this, good for you. I hope this fulfills your needs. As for me, I have lift ticket. I'll be fine with just that, even though that figure's not in storage. Now for Wave 3. This is the good stuff. Now, last time when I talked about the Velocitron set, I went in order of anticipation. I'm still going to do that here, but I'm going to go by size class. So starting with Deluxes with Autobot Blanker. Why did they change his name? I mean, I'm not upset by that, but it's like Point Blank was already a cool name. Why did you change it to Blanker? Now, as for how this looks alright overall. It certainly does look like him, except for the waspish waist, the waspish waist and hips. Those are some serious bean poles that the hips are on, and those back legs do look pretty hollow. So I don't really know how to feel about this. It looks cool. I can kind of see how the transformation is going to work. Maybe the shoulders will fold up to form the front bumper, and the arms will follow, and then these will be the back. I like how this looks, and I will be picking this up. But so far, this does look like the weakest of the deluxes here. All right. Next on the crankcase, and at first glance, this is obviously a retool of Legacy Skids, and I can't even begin to be mad at that because I actually really like that mold. Though I am interested in seeing how this transformation works. And now I'm looking at it closer, this actually looks like a mixture of Skids and 86 Jazz with how the backpack works, but from what I can tell, this is probably just going to be a heavy retool and remold of Skids, because those wheels look like they're working in a completely different way. Head sculpt looks pretty nice though, and the colors look really great here. Now, as for Skullgrin, when I first saw this listing, I thought it was going to be a core class figure and a retool of that amazing core class Iguanus. However, not only am I glad to see that's its own thing, but also a deluxe that turns into a tank. And it also looks really good. I actually do have the Power of the Prime Skullgrin that housed, I think it was Liege Maximo, but I'm more than happy with what I'm seeing here. And you can also see some little hints, other than these, of the tank mode. You got the treads back here. Nice. Now, the deluxe that I'm looking forward to the most is Dead End. This is very obviously a retool of Dragstrip, but like with Crankcase, I can't even begin to be mad at this. I absolutely love Legacy Dragstrip. It's easily my favorite figure from Wave 1, and it was my favorite figure from Legacy until I got G-Axis, and now it's that thing. But this still looks great. Obviously, the back's working in a very different way, but you see it back here. Obviously, that's working in a very different way where it's going to fold over everything else. But everything else looks very much like it's coming straight from Dragstrip. Honestly, that transformation was one of the best in Legacy, which is what made that figure so enjoyable. So I am definitely looking forward to this. And of course, I'm planning to complete Minosaur, so of course I'm picking this up regardless, but this still looks fantastic. Right, on to Voyagers with Armada Starscream. And yeah, this looks pretty good. I don't think this is going to be a retool of G-Axis. I don't really see that. But this still looks great. And they did reveal yesterday that these thrusters back here can fold forward to be the shoulder cannons, so that's awesome. Glad they paid close attention. And this will actually be an in-scale Armada Starscream. The last Armada Starscream we got was in the Thrilling 30 line, and it was a deluxe, and I don't know why, but at least this time we're getting one that's in scale, and that looks really good. I mean, the other one looked pretty good, but it was out of scale. Then we got Predacon Inferno. Oh, and I should probably mention, these two were already technically revealed, but the official reveal was yesterday at the panel. But as for Inferno, hell yes, this looks awesome. Now, this right here, the head, this has caused, this has brought a lot of attention and has made a lot of fans happy, and I can see why. Opening mouths is something that's pretty uncommon for Transformers, but, you know, I'm all for that here. And this ant mode looks really good. Now, I don't really understand why Inferno was so big, despite the fact that he turns into an ant, but, you know, at least he'll be on scale with everyone else, and he looks awesome. That gun looks really, it looks silly, but amazing at the same time. The way they pulled off the hands with the ant legs looks really cool. And I don't know if the head's supposed to split. Apparently it did in the show. Hope it does, but yeah, love how this looks. Now on to leader class with Transmetal 2 Megatron. Hell yes. Or should I say, hell yes. Yeah, for those who don't know, I can actually do a pretty decent Beast Wars Megatron impression. But anyways, this looks amazing. Other than the head, which looks a bit off, everything else looks really good. And someone did also leak an image of the packaging for this with the back of it where they showed the Dragon mode. Dragon mode looks sick as hell. And so does this. This also looks sick as hell. And I'm also wondering how many joints are in this arm. I was like, obviously, that's the neck of the Dragon mode, but it's like, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is this thing going to have like 5 different joints? It's going to have like a really posable neck? I hope so, because that would make this thing even more awesome. So honestly, this Inferno and Dead End are probably the highlights of Legacy Wave 3 for me, even though everything else does look really good. And overall, I am pretty satisfied with the reveals that they showed at Comic-Con. I mean, I don't really care about Breaker, and that 2-pack with Pax and Alpha Trion was just pretty disappointing. I mean, I'm all for having a 2-pack of those two, but like, why are you reusing Cup? Like, just use the Titan's Return version. It's so much better. But other than that, the stuff from the main Legacy line looks spectacular. As always, they've been knocking it out of the park with Legacy. So, yeah, really excited for what's to come. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this little short video. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. Not going to bore you with all the generic stuff. Take care, and Godspeed.